Do you just think of the worst things you can say every time that it clicks live?
Hey man, you can fucking deny it all you want. You can be one of those pro-Holocaust people, but I'm just not going to sit here and take that shit.
Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review, Beer Dudes United. We have the usual little panel of retards to start this off with. That's right, I'm using great words. What are you guys drinking? Start with Nicholas.
I am going to start off with a Whistler Big Sky Uncommon Lager.
Nice.
And then I'm going to either move on to a Category 12 Disruption IPA or a Brewdog Libertine Black Ale.
Ooh, Category 12. We actually have some news from them.
Looking forward
average Troll America, what are you looking at?
I'm starting with a Fuck You Chad Lager, followed up by a Suck My Dick Saison. No, Great Lakes Elliot Ness.
Nice.
I've never actually drank it before. It's one of the few Great Lake year-round beers I never got around to getting.
First review for Joe's channel going tonight, baby. It's
Not Great Lakes fucking Elliot Ness. No.
Alrighty, Lee, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking a Bone Shaker from Amsterdam.
Nice, nice. I am going to be drinking, because they just came in today from the Oktoberfest pack from Bose, their Weisso Lantern, their pumpkin wheat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, the Flying Monkeys Coast to Coast line just hit the Ontario market right now. It's not the Flying Monkeys because it was brewed out with you guys. It's their beer.
Oh, the Garrison one?
Yeah.
Nice. Guess I don't have to send you that then.
How much is it out there? I'm just curious now.
Oh, like $6, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
6 to 8.
$9.95 here was what it was.
Holy fuck! It's not that expensive here.
No.
I think it's like $7 or $8. I think. I'll check the NB Liquor site, but I know it's cheaper than that.
Well, I was just curious because it's brewed out there, right? So it's actually getting shipped here first, and then being sold to the LCB. Well, sold by the LCBO.
Taxes in 2 different provinces.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for you, because we get that all the time from shit coming from your fucking province. So
Yeah.
fuck you guys.
Chad, it's $6 here.
$6?
It's $5.95.
Can somebody send Jordan a link to BDU, because I sent him an invite and apparently he needs a direct link.
Sorry, Jordan.
He can go fuck himself.
Okay, first and foremost, just our usual little beer news from Canadian Beer News before we get onto our topics. Bellwood announces a cherrified edition of Farmageddon Brett Saison, which is their Brett Saison with cherries. Anyway, I loved the Farmageddon, so I'm actually super intrigued on the cherrified version. Walkerville releases Waterfront Wit as their 3rd anniversary seasonal. Now, I know that Windsor is not a big craft beer area. I know it's not huge in craft beer. It is growing. It's getting a nice little movement there. And I know it's not a huge thing, but after 3 years of a Wit's your 3-year anniversary seasonal, little sad myself.
It better be the best fucking wit ever made.
Now, if they had, say, put that wit out earlier and then, I don't know, tried a barrel version, because they do have barrels there now, too, that could be interesting. I've never had a barrel-aged wit to think about it. Never.
Nothing says anniversary beer / fall beer like a wit beer, baby. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking right.
But, it could be a really good beer, and I'm hoping it is, and I hope they continue to grow. I'm just saying that after 3 years of a Wit's Year anniversary seasonal, I'm a little saddened by it. I mean, I like a good wit. I don't know about you guys. I like a good wit, but
not for a 3rd anniversary beer, and certainly not in the as a seasonal, because it's fucking no longer in season.
Yeah, this is for out in Lee's area, from Halifax, Nova Scotia. The official beers are announced for Sausage Fest. Yes, Sausage Fest.
That would be Sausage Fest with bees around.
Exactly.
Are they talking about review night before the fest at your place? Is that what that is?
Get tubular is its slogan.
Get tubular.
Yeah.
Hello, boys. Get tubular with me. Come on now.
So I mean, having a sausage festival. I mean, sausage. Yeah. I thought my beer festival's original name was bad, which was bad, but Sausage Fest. Just thinking. Yeah, you're right there, Joe. There was a few women in this basement.
Women.
There was a few.
That does not count.
Air quotes.
Boxing Rock Kerfuffle APA. So Boxing Rock Kerfuffle APA, Bulwark Hopped Citrus Cider, Garrison Sweet Ride, and Propeller's Windswell Wheat are the official beers.
Okay, well, the Propeller one's new. The Garrison one is that one they did with Bose last year, which wasn't all that great. And the Boxing Rock one is new from what I'm hearing here. So that'll be interesting.
Now, Mill Street's Autumn Seasonal has been released. Well, it's been announced and released. Yeah, so Nightmare on Mill Street and Oktoberfest beer.
Yeah.
It's 3 and 3. It's not the set mix pack that they do. This is the only one they seem to still do the 3 and 3 for.
Why are they doing that? I mean, if the stuff's popular enough to keep bringing it back, why not just put straight up 6-packs?
I know, you'd think, but probably because they can get one SKU and sell them both at an LCD.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, true.
A new brewery in Ottawa. That makes like 14 fucking brick and mortar breweries in Ottawa. Guy is going to run out of money soon. Tooth and Nail. Tooth and Nail Brewing has opened up. It's located at 3 Irving Avenue, just a few blocks from Beyond the Pale, which makes it even worse for Guy. Tooth and Nail has taken a low-key approach to its opening, revealing few details via its website and social media accounts. The first beer from the brewery, a UK-style pale ale called Tenacity, was put on tap last Friday at Brothers Beer Bistro. They will also have Stamina, Vin and Vigor, Fortitude, Rabble Rouser, and Promiscuous. And they do not say what each type is.
Promiscuous is probably a slutty saison.
Tis the saison.
And the brewery tap room is only open. You can only go in and get samples, much like Allura at first, so that they don't have another Twitter wine feed. So just like Allura Brewing Company, it's just the tap room at first. So you can go in and get your samples. The retail store is a few weeks away, meaning that they don't have a retail license yet.
Huh. Well,
Now, Category 12 launches a crowdfunding campaign to support its barrel aging program.
buy the $50 SKU or the tier, and you'll get a piece of the barrel to chew on.
They're trying to fund $15,000 to purchase various barrels, racks, and supporting equipment, as well as construction of yeast propagating chambers. Okay, here's the thing I don't understand. Okay, you will go out and you will give a business $15,000 to $1 million to fucking do something when the business is already open and making money. But you won't go and do things for charity or anything else. But you will give a business more money to charge you more money.
Yeah, it's pretty selfish, isn't it? It's pretty backwards thinking, honestly. It
like,
suckers.
I never thought I'd get anywhere with my stupid little thing, but I was trying to raise money for fencing and all that to do bigger festivals to make more money for charity. And I had $25 donated to me. These guys will have this within a few days. And then they'll charge their consumers $15 to $20 for their barrel-aged bottles.
Yep, they're taking advantage of the market. They're taking advantage of beer geek culture, and beer geek culture is walking off the fucking cliff like a bunch of lemmings, falling for it. I mean, that's where their priorities are. So
You'll get your name printed on barrels.
Oh, whoopee fucking do. Really? That's all you get? That's even more sad, man. I mean, at least if I crowdfund a movie or something like that, at least I'm going to get, like, the DVD ahead of time or, like, the soundtrack or whatever, depending on whatever fucking tier I buy on. Or I could just give to charity, like you said, which is even more fulfilling and satisfying, but,
Forgive me because I blanked out there for a few minutes, but do you get any beer with your... Like, do you get like a couple bottles of like whatever goes in the barrels?
I'm sure if you donate enough, you'd get that. I didn't go all the way to their crowdfunding page. I was just looking at the things that the Canadian Beer News was highlighting.
Donate $10,000 and you'll get your name inscribed on a barrel you'll never be able to see.
And those barrels don't stay forever. I mean, you can only use them so many times. So does your name get inscribed on the next barrel that comes in?
Or do they break them up and honestly give you a piece like Lee was joking about earlier?
You donate enough after this barrel's done, you get the barrel head. That would be something awesome to put on your wall, like the barrel head I have on the wall, the Innocent Gun one.
They raffle off the barrel itself.
$5,000 tier. The brewmaster will give you a hand job out behind the fucking facility.
Now, my wife went home to her family last weekend, and I'm really sad that she went last weekend because this weekend New Limburg Brewing is opening in Simcoe, and she took the back route because there was a accident on the highway, so she actually drove through Simcoe, so I could have gotten their beers if it was this weekend. So it's a sad thing for me. But New Limburg Brewing is going to be a Belgian-style brewery. Of course, it's a Belgian-style brewery. Everything's basically Belgian or English in Ontario. They'll have a Belgian blonde ale at 7.6 ABV. Holy fuck.
Yeah, you're talking Duval.
Yeah. A petite blonde table beer at 4.5% alcohol. So that's probably just a second running of the mash from the first.
Yeah.
It would be really simple to do. You brew them both at the same time because that's about the ABV difference you would get. And then lastly, the Black Sheep Milk Stout at 4.8. Actually, that's a nice little round. You're doing Belgian styles. Not everybody likes Belgian. Put a stout in there if you don't like those things. Too fucking bad type of thing.
Mm-hmm. That sounds pretty accessible, though. That sounds pretty smart.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. And if you're in the Simcoe area and you want just plain nothing beers anyway, Picard's Peanuts has the Ramblin' Road brewery. So you can go and get that stuff, which there's nothing offensive about any of it. It's just whatever. In Nunavut Brewing receives liquor board approval. So you will have I think the third brewery in the Northwest Territories there. In Nunavut. Nunavut Brewing Company has its business applications approved by the City Council in July, and they will start selling soon.
That's good.
They're trying to raise $2 to $3 million before fully opening. So they're looking at 2016 to 2017, but contract rules should be out soon.
$2 to $3 million up there. Oh boy, good luck.
So what's one of the tiers for that crowdfunding one? Are they going to kill a narwhal and like inscribe your name on its tusk for you? Is that...
Two things. One, that's awesome, and two, Big E is right. Up there, that's going to be almost impossible.
$2 to $3 million for no. I was just thinking about logistically how anybody can pull off. I mean, does it even make sense to even homebrew up there? Just to get stuff to you and all that. It's almost like, I'll just take whatever's on the truck. I don't care. It's not even worth it, is it?
So yeah, they could merge Ice Road Truckers with fucking one of those beer reality shows, stick them together.
Exactly.
Ice Road Brewers.
There you go. I'm sure there's an episode of Brewdogs coming based on that. They're going to be brewing on a truck up in the Arctic.
Yeah. I mean, what size brewery are they looking for in Nunavut? I mean, come on. I mean, there's not really a population up there anyway. You don't need a big brewery. You could have like a little corner microbrewery, and that'd be probably the best way to cut your costs down.
Just homebrew, man. Who are you going to give it? There's not enough up there. I mean, I'm sure there's people who drink different beer, but is there enough to support?
It was probably like some like grand idea from a community leader or something like that, where we can get a bunch of jobs up here and get people working again.
You can only get the jobs if people are going to buy it, and
yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
I mean, as sad as it is to say, what are you going to do? Trade fish for beer?
Yeah.
No, we don't trade. We barter. It's bartering.
Yeah, and, before anyone says it, no, I'm not being an idiot. I'm actually just making a joke. You fucking idiots yourselves. Anyway,
you're all racist. You're all racist.
So this is about a month old now, but I don't know. Has anybody here? Well, not anybody here really, but anybody even watching? Has anyone tried anything from Burdock Brewing? Burdock Brewing opened up at the middle of August. Siobhan McPherson is their brewmaster. She used to work at Mill Street. They had 6 beers to start off, and again, it was a pretty good range of beers. Actually, a beer that you could probably find something for everybody. They had a West Coast Pilsner, a California Common, an IPA, a Saison, a Grisette, and a Summer Stout.
Okay. What the fuck is that? The Summer Stout? What the fuck is that?
I'm just gonna guess a lighter stout.
So it's a mild.
Orange.
Hey.
Yeah,
what
what
is
is
it?
summertime? They got called summer stout. It just can't be a stout.
Yeah, remind us, Chad. What is a grisette again? Because I was actually when I was at Bar Hop recently, I saw it on the menu. I'm like, what is a grisette again? I just couldn't remember, so I didn't order it.
It's fuck. I gotta look that one up again. I know it, but it's just stupid. It's all about the grist. It's the one fucking style I've only the grist bill. Fuck off. It's the one beer style I've only had like 2 of in my entire time drinking.
Wasn't it supposed to be like similar to the Saison in terms of
Yes.
they gave it to miners or some shit like that, and instead of farm workers wherever they actually brewed it.
A grist?
Grisette. Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, you are. Grisette is a Belgian-style ale which was originally brewed in the Hanau province. The beer is for miners. That was it. It was for the miners. Yeah.
Drop of knowledge, sons.
Yeah. Well, it was me. You did it with me, didn't you? Didn't we do a Grisette from Great Lakes together?
Who the fuck? If I don't, probably. From the Great Lakes in Canada?
Yeah.
They made one?
Somebody muted me. I wasn't even talking. Jesus.
You were in the background chatting it up with your significant other that yells at you but doesn't yell at you.
That's true. It was sexy.
Yeah, so it's a beer from Belgium for miners, as the Saison is for farmers. And like I was saying with the malt bill, the grist, it has wheat as well as barley, where the Saison usually just has one or the other. This will have both.
Speaking of kind of obscure beer styles, Chad, have you had much of kvass?
Kvass? I've never had a real kvass. I've had like non-alcoholic kvass. It's a Russian, Ukrainian.
It's a Russian street beer. They just
it's a malt beverage for getting Russian teenagers drunk. That's basically what it is.
It's a Russian malt liquor.
I thought that was vodka.
Beer equivalent of vodka.
No, it's just like it's almost like.
You're kind of cutting out there, Jordan.
Yeah, big time.
Jordan, your microphone is dying.
Shit.
I blame the bylaw.
I would blame that too.
The kvass is it looks like just shitty Russian homebrew sort of MacGyver stuff. It looks like they just put a bunch of stuff in and put in baker's yeast to get low ABV, super bitter, and throwing fruits and stuff.
I was gonna say I always know it as super low ABV. Like every person from like Eastern Europe that's ever talked to me about kvass said it's supposed to be between 1 and 4% ABV.
Well,
that's gotta be really sweet.
Let's put it this way: there's several of them in one of Michael Jackson's little coffee table books or whatever, and every one of them, the picture of it is like in a fucking plastic pop bottle.
Yeah, that's the one I had. I had one in a plastic pop bottle from the Ukraine. We reviewed it. It was pop though. It wasn't actually true kvass. It wasn't alcoholic at all. And it was fucking disgusting. And I actually have had some people freak out on me that you don't know kvass. I'm like, no, I don't know kvass. This is what I had to drink.
Yeah.
And I've had other people from Russia and the Ukraine and from all the countries in and around that area going, yeah, that's the worst one out there. It's the one that's exported outside of Eastern Europe. And I'm like, Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
I've had beer in 2-liter ounce plastic pop bottles too in Eastern Europe, and it was also shit, and that was the stuff from there. So, but it was cheap, man. It was like €2 for 2 liters of beer. You just go sit on the beach. You don't have to worry about breaking it. It's plastic. It's awesome.
I'm going with your definition going forward, though. If someone asks me what kvass is, I'm just going to say shitty homebrew MacGyver stuff. That is the definition going forward.
Yeah, well, it's MacGyver because they use baker's yeast, not brewer's yeast.
Yeah. The other
MacGyver.
thing with the plastic bottles, did any of you guys? Well, Ewart, or I guess Ewart's the only one in here. Well, Bylog. Did any of you guys ever drink the fucking Charles Wells IPA when it came in the plastic 2-liter bottle?
No.
Oh, wow.
Like that.
Well, I'm sure it was amazing.
No, it was not.
Hey,
It was
let's
not.
let's do a double whammy on this beer. Let's let light get through and oxygen get through the fucking.
Oh no! It was a brown pop bottle.
Oh, was it? So just oxygen.
But it can
Yeah.
still leach. You can still leach the plastic.
Yeah,
Crap
just-
off the plastic.
So just oxygen then. Awesome.
And the BPA.
Yeah. We do have some comments here I should get to real quick.
Alrighty.
We're
Yes.
ignoring them. Winter is coming says, cheers, guys. Any thoughts on Amsterdam's Fracture IIPA? I was excited to see that it will be making it to the LCBO shelves, but wary of its $17 a 6-pack price point. How does it compare to Twice as Mad Tom, which is available in the same format at a lower price point?
When I had Fracture, I had it after 3 weeks. So if you're in the Toronto area, you'll probably get it in about that time. And it was fucking amazing. I don't know what the ABV is going to be on this brewing, but I think the original was like 8.5, and it was an amazing beer.
It started out at 9. I think they brought it down now.
It was take Bone Shaker and give it like rocket packs, and that's what it was for me. It was a beautiful. It was basically a Vermont style IPA to me. It was juicy and unfiltered.
Yeah,
and full of hype.
I'd say it's better than Twice as Mad Tom. I didn't like it as much as you did.
Yeah,
it's pretty solid.
I think it is much better.
Juicy and unfiltered.
But yeah, at $17 a 6-pack, well, in all honesty, that's $3 a beer. It's still better than going and buying it at the bar ever.
Yeah, the bottle date's over 5 weeks, though. Just don't buy it on American import.
Exactly.
Shout out to What Cheers Beers.
Yeah, What Cheers Beers. Who gives a fuck? Cheers Beers, whatever the fuck his obscure bullshit name is. Dave Zodiac says, hello, fellas, and he says he'd watch Ice Road Brewers.
I would, too, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Guys, I'll have you know that I am drinking a malt liquor right now. Not even having a beer.
Which malt liquor?
It's a Dogfish Head. I'll try and pronounce this. Palo Santo Marion malt.
You
beverage
failed.
aged.
You totally failed.
Well, then you pronounce it, Joe.
He's
you
not
did the job for me.
Espanol.
Actually, Greg, have you had anything from Burdock Brewing?
I don't think so.
Fail.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. The name sounds familiar, but I don't recall having anything from it.
Okay.
What do you think, Greg? Have you been drinking it at all?
I haven't tried it yet. I'm pouring it.
Any
So is
other
that like one of those ancient grain ones or something?
No, it's just an Imperial Brown Ale aged in Palo Santo Marron. Fucking, I guess.
I thought he was pronouncing Paleo Palo or something by mistake. I don't know.
I can't pronounce foreign languages.
Any other comments, Lee?
No, that's it so far.
Just those? Alrighty. So, I guess, first and foremost, beer news is done. What was our first story that will take us the least amount of time to talk about? Oh, here's a good one. The Taco Bell cantinas. Taco Bell will be serving beer in the Taco Bell cantinas in Chicago. So, of all the restaurants to get a beer license, this is probably the one that I expected the least, and it probably might actually help you because, by the time you have to take your piss from your beer, it's about the same time you'd probably be running to the toilet to have your explosive
I was going to
diarrhea.
make that joke too.
But on Ching. Hey, sorry, go your.
Oh, I was gonna say, when I was in Chicago last, we go to Chipotle, which is sort of the fancy Taco Bell, right? And they have beer, so I guess we're just trying to compete. Who knows?
Did you bring
Yeah, well,
any
you can't
Chipotle away with you?
Yeah, you can't be comparing Chipotle to Taco Bell, bro. Come on. Come on, you were.
All Mexican food tastes the same, man.
They will be selling beer. They'll have beer for $4, wine for $4, sangrias for $4.50, and twisted freezes, which is frozen drinks that have rum, tequila, or vodka mixed in, and they will come with the Mountain Dew Baja Blast varieties, or Cantina Punch and Cantina Margaritas, and cost between $6 and $7.
Can you imagine?
Mountain Dew.
Can you imagine these guys making this shit too? Oh my god! You already know these guys working back there, or just they're, you know what I mean? And now they're making drinks.
Like,
oh shit!
What is the laws in Chicago? Do you have to be a certain age to make drinks? Because most Taco Bells have kids, working there. So now that it's an alcohol establishment, does that change it from
Weird.
Or like, do you always have to have somebody over a certain age on staff to make sure that these drinks can be made? Because there are some shifts where there'll be like a 16-year-old manager working who's the closing guy, and like McDonald's, you'll have a 16-year-old swing manager, and he'll be like, "Hey, it's time to close up." But here, this 16-year-old, can he pour a drink? Can he
I think
your beer?
I think the better question is how many fucking orders are they gonna fuck up? It's gonna be beyond belief. Like, people are gonna be like, "Oh, I'll take Bud Light," and they'll get something completely different.
You're gonna get like a Bud Light taco or something.
Yeah, Bud Light Chelada. Yeah, they should put Cheladas on the menu.
Oh yeah, Chelada.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
No.
it's gonna be all cervezas, man, like Tecate and Sol and.
No, I think I'd skip the beer and I'd just go for the sangria if that's what they had there.
So
You can be 18. You can be 18 to serve alcohol in Illinois. You have to be 21 to consume it.
So they'd have to have an 18-year-old on then.
And odds are they probably have at least one, or they switch their things around to make sure they did.
Yeah, there's probably some sort of loophole where you just need like a supervisor to make sure everything's going above board. Or
Just
whatever.
supervise, baby.
That's right. You supervise. You book that committee.
Yeah, every time the underage kid gets a shot, the supervisor gets a shot too.
You better not forget that lime and that Corona, baby. You better get on top of that.
You gotta put that lime to get that sour taste in there, baby, to get that disgusting taste out of your mouth.
Give it some taste there.
Oh, baby, someone ordered an extra lime, baby. What's happening?
So there's this great video out right now about a hockey player who in college, and it just screams Grant Fuhr to me, except for Grant Fuhr was all about Coke, and this is beer. But there's a college hockey goalie that pounds a beer, and then gets kicked out of the game for pounding the beer. But so play stopped. You see the video. Instead of grabbing a water bottle, somebody throws him a fucking can of beer, and he just downs it, throws it. And it's done, and then he gets ejected from the game. It's great because it just reminds me of Grant Fuhr, because Grant Fuhr was always so fucking high it wasn't funny, but you'd always see him rubbing his fucking face with his blocker, and I was sure there was lines of Coke in that blocker.
Yeah,
So
but
I wanted to say something there. It would have been uploaded around the same time we started this call, but Watch Mojo, the YouTube channel that does all the top 10 lists.
Yes.
They posted a top 5 beer facts.
Oh, awesome.
I just noticed that now. But of course I haven't had a chance to watch, so I have no idea what they said.
It's going to be all stuff from the Food Babe.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just giving us all show and no tell there, Nicholas.
Stay away from any beer made with GMOs.
Now, here's one for you American guys. Have any of you guys had Virtue Cider?
Mm-mm.
Virtue Cider.
Virtue Cider. Well, Anheuser-Busch InBev's subsidiary, Goose Island, so Anheuser-Busch in the end, acquires the majority stake in Virtue Cider. So they have over a 50% stake in Virtue Cider. I'm just curious what it's like.
How about that, the AB InBev Miller buyout?
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
He's spoiling everything.
Spoiler.
Yeah, way to blow her wad.
Yeah, take it easy. Jesus Christ.
Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
Didn't you check the agenda? The agenda said that's up in about 4 topics.
Yeah, that was further down on the docket, sir.
Shut up.
Exactly at 9:43 p.m. Eastern, we are going to get into that topic, baby.
That is a semi-main event. We don't book it right now, baby. We don't book it right now. Semi-main event, baby. We got to do some Jabba matches first.
How about Brewdog? Brewdog's BrewDog at their brew pub has taken Lagunitas off tap because Lagunitas is now partially owned by 50% owned by Heineken, so they are now no longer allowed to be sold there. Really, I understand your idea of wanting everything to
BrewDog.
be. I understand your
BrewDog.
idea of wanting everything to be craft by terms of craft. See the air parentheses. But if a beer is good, it should be sold regardless of who really owns it.
Well, I mean,
yes.
I understand. If the whole idea is you are only a craft beer bar, well then, unfortunately, that's just how it is.
It's fucking BrewDog.
Yeah.
Is it?
The thing is, it's an only craft brew bar, but craft brew, the definition they're using is the U.S. definition. Is it still a craft beer everywhere? Who knows? I mean, everywhere has a different definition, but the only place that really has a fully independent, not overseas owned definition is the U.S. and the Brewers Alliance in the U.S.
Yeah, okay, so just because Anheuser-Busch takes like 50% stake in Lagunitas, it doesn't mean Lagunitas all of a sudden takes on 50% of Anheuser-Busch's total fucking brewing capacity. What kind of fucking bullshit is that, man?
I can't wait until BrewDog gives in. It should be a lot of fun that day. Which will
Oh yeah, after everything, because BrewDog giving in will be a lot like when Elysian gave in. There will be a lot of backlash.
It'll be a lot of people like Tony McGee from Lagunitas giving in. He fucking I saw a fucking topic. I should actually mention it, but I saw one maybe like 3 or 4 days ago where somebody dug up his old tweets and how he was like, when you ever see me merge or get bought out or whatever, I'll be dead or something. I'm paraphrasing, not exactly like that. I'm just like, okay, well he's not dead yet, so. Well,
Is
wait
it-
for that to happen.
He was essentially doing the posturing that BrewDog's doing right now.
Yes, because everyone has to be like, oh, this is horrible. And then all of a sudden someone's like, oh, here's $100 million. It's not that horrible anymore. Hang on. It's actually pretty awesome. They got money and better distribution.
People often do say things and then don't go through with them.
I mean, I would have more respect for people if they kind of did with Sam C did,
kill
our boy,
themselves?
shout out, where he basically said more or less, I am not going to do anything with any of these big guys. I've been approached multiple times, blah blah blah, but I can't guarantee down the road when my kids or my family takes over, they're not going to do anything. You just came out and be honest with yourself, or even say, hey, I don't know, just as of right now, I'm not going to do it, but. These guys are so against it, and they say stuff that they don't mean, and then 3 years later they're like, oh well, the landscape has changed. It's like shouldn't have been a douchebag in the beginning. That's kind of how BrewDog is now, because down the road I could definitely see them getting bought out and changing their tune. But it's BrewDog at the end of the day, so fuck them.
And I'm sure most of us, if we were doing something and somebody suddenly tossed like 10, 20, 30 million bucks our way to buy it from us, whatever it is, Joe's beard or something, let's say, Joe would shave his beard for 30 million bucks. He'd sell out.
I'd shave Ewert's beard for $30 million. I'd do a lot of things to Ewert's beard for $30 million.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, Ewert. Don't be embarrassed. It's okay.
I'd pay
It'll be over soon. He'll give you $1 million for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's money talks, bullshit walks, that whole thing. Is it? I don't have to reiterate, but I will. It's a business, and as soon as people realize that and figure that out, the better everyone will be.
Oh. Somebody just asked me about breweries in Ottawa. Can anyone remember the one that Dale works at right now?
Oh fuck. Walker Street.
That's it. Thank you. Waller Street.
Waller Street. I'm combining Windsor and fucking Ottawa. I don't know what's happening.
Don't do that.
Walkerville. You missed the wit beer. How about the wit beer 3rd anniversary? East
Yeah, Big E. I was saying, I'm super excited that Windsor has a beer scene that's starting to grow and everything, and I understand that their beer scene isn't great. But when your 3rd anniversary seasonal is a wit beer, I'm kind of disappointed.
Well, that's what it was. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, no. I mean, I could see, maybe taking a wit beer and putting it in a barrel to do something nobody's really ever done, just for shits and giggles. But just
there has to be a barrel-aged wit beer somewhere, no?
I'm
sure somebody's done it.
sure somebody's done it, but I've never seen one, so it would be kind of a first, I'm sure, in Ontario as well. It would be something like, hey, here, try this.
What kind of barrel?
Oh, well, for
White wines?
it would have to be a wine, I think. Yeah, white wine would probably make the. White wine would make the yeast and the coriander and all that just jump. Or if you wanted to go all the way out on left field, do a rum barrel just to add some more fruitiness to it.
Brandy.
Or brandy,
Yeah.
yes. That's what's the next one I was going to say.
Yeah, if it's like a white rum, spiced rum kind of thing, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How about there's Hulamanins out of Warren. Houlamans?
Counahan.
Houlihan. They did a
Counahan.
gin barrel. What was the gin barrel aged beer they did?
Gin barrel aged triple.
I had it there, and Derek was not a fan. I don't think you were, and I actually enjoyed it to a certain extent. But it'd be interesting to see some more gin barrel aged beers. I think a wheat beer would work probably best.
The gin barrel in general, I'm just thinking gin is an unaged spirit, so why would there even be gin barrels?
I have no idea.
You know what? I was just about to ask that myself.
Well, there are
I have no idea.
I'm sure there are some barrel-aged gins
There's
out there.
I think Citroën gin. I think I might be mispronouncing that, but I think
Yeah, might be.
they make a barrel-aged version of their gin.
No, that's how Snoop Dogg stores all of his gin and juice. So they just buy the barrels from him after he's used them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I might have a little bit of dank quality to the beer, to the gin, baby. Just a little bit dank.
I'm gonna move on to and boom goes the dynamite from Bose.
Oh boy.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Is that from the
I
new
believe-
pack?
Yes, from the Oktoberfest pack. And once I'm done this beer, we'll go on to our next topic.
I got
believe.
suckered into that pack. God damn it.
And what did you end up doing with it? What did you end up doing?
What's what?
Beer, right there that he's drinking.
That beer right there? I don't know. Let's see what he thinks.
Okay.
Did I feed mine to the compactor? Perhaps.
Yeah.
See, I've had this once, and I had it at the brewery the first year they made it, and I really liked it, but I haven't had it since then. That was, 3 years ago? maybe 4 years ago that they made it?
Apparently, Gahan's got a harvest lager coming. Thought I'd put that. Gahan, yeah, I'm changing this. I'm sorry, I'm reading something.
Baby, it's September, so everything is now harvest, whatever the style is. Let's get a harvest IPA out there, a harvest saison, a harvest lager, a harvest stout, a harvest porter, a harvest fucking barley wine, harvest everything.
Well, it's better than pumpkin spice.
Harvest Grisette? That's what I'm looking for.
Could be
Harvest Goza.
saison, pumpkin spice lager, pumpkin spice stout. Could be worse.
What you really need to do is harvest yourself a tag team partner because you got a match tonight, baby. So you got to throw it down.
Okay, this
Go hard times with
to answer you, Ewart, not nearly as good as it was when it was originally brewed. This actually kind of reminds me of perm chemicals.
Yeah, it is nasty. There's something about it I didn't like.
It just has this weird, like my mother, when I lived in the basement of my mother's house in Ottawa, she had a salon in the basement too. And that's back when I was doing strongman and wrestling and all that, so I would be working out all day, every day, and then I'd come home and I'd just pass out. I'd pass out and I'd always wake up to the smell of perm chemicals because her clients were always little old ladies and stuff, right? So she'd be perming their hair and all that, and I'd wake up with that, to the smell of it and like that taste in the back of my throat, and that's what this reminds me of. It's just that weird, kind of bitter, kind of almost bug spray-like.
Like hairspray.
Yeah, like hairspray, like how it just gets in the air and then all of a sudden it's in your sinuses and everything. It's what it reminds me of, just this weird texture. It doesn't really have the saltiness that it had before or that touch of sour that it usually has.
Yeah, I didn't get either of those things, and that's what I was looking for. I'm like, God, what is this? I don't know.
Yeah,
long story short, 9.25 out of 10.
I think what might have happened is the first time they made it on their smaller system, and now that they're making it for huge distribution, it might have just lost something. Well, it obviously lost something, but
I didn't really like it the first time I had that. So.
Did it lose its smile, baby? Shout out to
a lot of salt.
I'm sad. I'm sad because I really enjoyed that when I first had it. But to be honest, Steve Bouchen there got me really drunk that day. So
with your palate compromise, baby, is that what you're saying?
I'm not.
Just like the name. Just like the name. That's all.
Excuse me, and it's burpy too.
I think your palate might have been compromised by all those perm chemicals, baby. They might have been infused into your nostril orifices
That could be
permanently.
it too. Hey, Kathleen Wynne made some headlines earlier this week by tweeting about the Golden Tap Awards in Toronto Beer Week.
Yeah.
So
And that
she
picture
did,
of her drinking,
yeah,
she looks
yeah,
like
where
a
she's
person who
almost taking a sip.
she looks like a person who's never drank beer in her fucking life.
No, she never has. You could tell just by even the way her hands holding the glass. Like, what do I do? And just a slight little tip. But
Just
for those
tell her to pretend it's a pussy. She'll figure it out.
All right.
anyway, Kathleen Wynne. Beer lovers agree Ontario brews are liquid gold. Help honor your favorites by voting in the Golden Tap Awards. I really would like her to go through that and tweet her response to it all.
Yeah.
By the way, fuck the Golden Tap Awards. Have you guys actually filled out one of those things?
Yes.
Oh, God, the categories are terrible. Like, what's your favorite cask ale? Who gives a shit about cask ales? Really? Is it that big of a thing?
Unfortunately,
Fuck.
the Golden Tap Awards are put on by Bar Towel, and for Bar Towel, that's a huge thing. It's cask ales. So it is there. What's your favorite cask ale? What's your favorite cask ale bar? What's your favorite? You know,
Fuck.
don't answer
Yeah,
those ones though. You know what? It doesn't matter. Go through them all and say the Albino Rhino and the Albino Rhino Beer Fest. That's all I care about.
It's funny you get so angry and a lot of people care about them. It's huge and it's real big now. I don't. I mean, I know you obviously don't because you're flipping out, but in general, a lot of people are huge into it now. Like it's coming back and they're like,
ruins beer. It ruins beer.
For you. I remember.
Fuck.
You know what? I've had some really good cask beers, and I've had some really horrible cask beers, and I think that's the thing with cask beers in North America over the UK. Everybody's still learning what they're supposed to do, and you know, some of them will be like, "Hey, let's take our normal beer and throw whatever the fuck we want in it," and some of them will be like, "Let's make a special beer for it," and some of them are actually skilled in it now. Wellington's actually pretty good at it because originally that's all they brewed was cask ales, and they'll go, "Hey, let's make a beer specifically for a cask." And that's the way it really should be done. But I remember the first time I drank it, I wasn't ready for the almost hot, absolutely no carbonation beer that I was given.
And I think that's the thing that a lot of people, such as you and myself, and people who don't like cask have a hard time overcoming. It's not even that the beer is room temperature; it's warm. The beer is warm, like warm, and it throws you for a loop. But then on top of that, you have no carbonation. So it's like if you don't like,
that's what kills me.
It's like a nitro beer that's warm, and it's like I can maybe do one or the other, but not in conjunction with one another. It's not for me.
Yeah, even nitro beers, they're getting old on me.
I can make up for it though because the mouth feels fantastic. It adds something where cask I think just takes away and doesn't put anything back into it.
And I think for a lot of cask ales, the problem being with it being taken away is that people aren't thinking about what will actually go good that way. Because there are some things you can do that would be fine, but I mean, a lot of breweries again will just take their normal beer and throw, I don't know, hey, let's throw it in a cask with cherries, that'll make it amazing. Let's throw it in a cask with coffee, that'll make it amazing. No, think something up that should go in there and do something cool with that instead of just going, hey, we have an extra batch of this, let's put it into 4 different casks and put 4. Actually, that would be cool if they did that. If a brewery came to a festival with 5 casks, say 5 casks, plus 1 keg. Here's a keg of our, say, Silversmith. Here's a keg of our black lager. Try that. Here's our black lager on cask. Here's our black lager on cask with this. Here's our black, like, you know what? That would be cool to do like a vertical of that.
I can't remember if the black lager they brought with raspberries was that cask or not.
Yes,
that was cask, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but it's one of those things where I just stay away from now. It's very easy to do.
I think a big portion of the cask ale problem too is a lot of casks are not taken care of. A lot of casks are being brought to festivals that are outdoors that are hot, and that's why your beer is warm, like warm. Actually warm instead of room temperature. Like a proper cask ale, it should be inside. It should be regulated on temperature. It should be regulated on the angle it's on. Everything. Like you will have a cask master who actually takes care of this stuff, and I think that's the
Evan
big
Sullivan?
thing. Like,
Yeah, Kevin Sullivan, the calf master.
I think that's the big difference between the UK and North America for this stuff. Is in the UK they take it so seriously that they actually have a guy that takes care of everything, and here it's just bang, put it out in the sun, let's drink it.
I like
Fuck it, let's
that was the Oladub beer that they have a Master of Wood on it.
Yes, the Master of Wood.
Listen, man, if the Dungeon of Doom made a beer, I would drink that.
Calf Master and the Master Wood, baby, tag team champions of the world.
I fully understand why some people don't like cask ale. I fully understand why some people love it, and I fully understand why there's people in the middle. And I find them interesting. I just wish that if you're gonna bring a cask, don't bring it to an outdoor festival and throw it in the sun.
Yeah.
Well, and stylistically, it's weird. Like, I can give you an example. I went to a local restaurant last week, and they had a local brewery, Community Beer Works. Chad, you've had some stuff from them, and they had their That IPA, which is an awesome IPA on its own, and they had it with extra mosaic hops and on cask. And I got it in a flight, and I go to drink it. It's warm and has no carbonation. I'm like, why would I want to drink a 5% IPA with no carbonation and warm? It's stylistically, I would never want to drink any kind of IPA with almost no carbonation. That's why they're not nitro or anything.
It's a sad thing that people are just throwing anything in a cask and not thinking about it. A cask should be ESBs, English bitters, milds, just things like that would have soft carbonation anyway, because they wouldn't have gotten a lot of fermentation carbonation. Like, they wouldn't have carbonated all that much because of the low ABV.
Well, it's just like why what works best in nitroed cans and whatnot? Usually stouts and porters and things that can, the lack of carbonation is not a huge deterrent like it is for another style. That's why when you see people putting like pale ales in nitro cans or bottles, people aren't enthralled with them, because they're like, well, where's the carbonation at? I don't really want a creamy mouthfeel without any carbonation in a pale ale.
Well, yeah, like think about like a Belgian triple in a cask.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It just took away part of its big appeal, which is its effervescence. But to go back to the Golden Tap Awards, another thing that I hate is, like, there's so many categories just for nothing. Like, your favorite craft beer bar for taps, your favorite craft beer bar for bottles, your favorite craft beer bar for fucking you in the ass. Like shit. Like, what the fuck? Why do you have to just your favorite craft beer bar? Not you need to give so many awards out that you have to separate it. What's your favorite craft beer bar for casks? What's your favorite craft beer bar for this? Just one category is all you need.
I had Cantillon's Brookstella, and that's completely unfair.
Your microphone still. What's happening, Jordan? Your microphone is you're like really low, and then for like a second it pops in and you're really loud, and then right back to being really low again.
Like a bad wire or something.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Seems like the Duluth connection somewhere, baby.
On my next beer mail, I'm gonna mail him a microphone.
That's fucked up, baby. That's totally fucked up.
It was in the microphone.
Working any good now?
Not really. It did for a second.
You cut in. Yeah, right. If you saying that, it cut out.
Does it work any good?
Webcam? Do you have a microphone on your webcam?
Half-ass.
Half-ass might be better than what you have right now, though.
Yeah.
Try it. Let's find out, Jordan. Try it.
Half-ass better than
Do we have any comments from our 3 viewers?
Oh, let's see. No.
Okay, guys. You have to talk to us. You have to talk to us. We're here to chat with you, plus ourselves. Anyway, next topic is... Dun-dun-dun-dun! Metallica to launch a limited edition Labatt Budweiser beer in Quebec.
Is this just going to be fucking...
From what I
regular
understand, reading through it, it's regular Bud in a black Budweiser Metallica can.
Oh, fuck off.
It says nothing about it being a different brew or anything like that. Where is it? The beer will be available in cans, coming in cases of 15 and 24. More than 91,000 black cans will be on the market to mark the historic transition to the Metallica amphitheater. Yeah, it says absolutely nothing on whether or not it's going to be different, and it's to commemorate like the Black Album and everything else. So yeah, it's regular Bud with Metallica's name on it. So to me, this is even worse than the bands that actually sell their name to crappy beer. This is, we're going to give you the right to brand your beer with us and nothing else. You don't even have to make a different beer. Keep Budweiser in the can. Just put our logo on it.
And listen, guys, this is Lars. If fucking Napster tries to take our beer, we're gonna sue your asses. Yeah, fuck that. Like, that's so dumb. Like, oh, I'm gonna get my limited edition Metallica can. Is anyone still a Metallica fan? Really? Is anyone really still a Metallica fan? Are you not embarrassed for yourself at this point?
I was a Metallica fan. I still have all the old CDs and stuff, and I'll listen to them. But yeah, the new Metallica stuff, I don't care for.
I mean, in the
Given up.
Black Album sucked. I'm sorry, it sucked. I know it's their big popular mainstream jump, but it sucked. Ride the Lightning, and after that, it's pretty much done.
There was some good stuff on Load. There was some okay stuff on Reload, and there was a few new songs on the Garage Days, the cover album, and then I didn't really care after that.
You are what we like to call objectively wrong.
I like the Unforgivens.
Yeah, Unforgiven on the black, and then I think it was Reload that had Unforgiven too.
You should not be forgiven for liking that song.
Lynn's always so kind and giving, but I feel he never speaks his mind. It worries me.
I have to hold back, baby. I have to hold back. I cannot say the full truth. It would be too much for more people.
Now, another great topic out there is posted by allaboutbeer.com, and it is entitled "The Agony and Ecstasy of Beer Reviews," and it does talk to a bunch of different brewers. It also talks to the Beer Advocate brothers. Sorry, Rate Beer. It's Rate Beer, isn't it, that do that? The brothers?
No, it's the Amsterdam brothers are Beer Advocates.
Okay, and a lot of these breweries are talking about how beer reviews have destroyed their business. I can't see that happening, but I could see it being a little bit detrimental to you. But
you make a shitty beer, maybe.
Yeah. Well, no, not even that. A lot of things, like, I've actually been commenting on a lot of these beer sites, too, lately. Things like, this beer is too sour when it's a sour. Or, this stout is too stouty. Or,
this IPA has hops.
Why is there coriander in this beer? And it's a wit beer. Stuff like that. Like, the internet has made everybody have a voice. These rating sites have made everybody have a voice as well. And yeah, I can understand how Untapped, Rate Beer, and Beer Advocate can be like sinning for you to even go and look at as a brewer, be penance for doing something bad, because a lot of these people are like bud drinkers, or people that have never drank beer, or people that are completely uneducated, or people that don't look at the beer for it being a beer. Like, a lot of times you'll have me go, well, as a style, this is really good, I just don't like it. And these people will be like, 1 out of 5 for this, I hate IPAs. Then why the fuck did you drink it and rate it?
Yeah. I mean, the old saying goes, for these brewmasters, they should just heed this warning that, you can't please everyone, so you might as well please yourself, so jack off in your beer for all these hipsters to drink.
Yeah, and I mean, it's true. It's a funny thing. Yeah, there are people that are going to rate things, and I guess it comes down to, are you rating it with blind ignorance and saying no matter what, I'm right, or are you rating it going, this is what I personally think, and if you like it, that's perfectly fine?
You could be Tanya, Muskoka, Skauki, Skuka, whatever, and see if this fits into the BJCP specifications, baby. This is a Doc Hell's Doppelbock, perhaps.
Helles
Doppelbock.
Baby, Helles Doppelbock. Come on, baby.
So, I mean, I get it, and I am going to be doing a new segment soon, which is called Brewers Read Mean Ratings. And I'm going to go through for each brewery that I'm visiting, and I'm going to pick up a bunch of stuff from Twitter, from Untapped, from Rate Beer, and from Beer Advocate, and get them to read it.
That would be amusing.
And every brewery I've talked to about it has loved the idea, and I have about 15 of them that are already gung-ho to do this with me. So it'll be a lot of fun. But I mean, it's true. Like whenever I tap something in, I scroll through just to see what people have said, and half the time I'm just shaking my head at it. Again, like if you're drinking a sour ale and it says sour ale in the title, don't say this beer is sour. What the hell? Like, I just want to strangle you. I do, and it's not that you're not allowed to not like it. It's how could you question that it was going to be sour when it calls itself a sour ale?
This McDonald's coffee is hot. What the fuck?
Exactly, right? Like,
Arm. Yes, Sue.
Now they have to have a thing saying, "Hey, don't rest this boiling hot coffee on your genitals. Bad things may happen."
It's like that scene in It's like that scene in Clerks there, where the customer's up. He's got the coffee. It's like, what do you mean you got no ice? I have to drink this coffee hot?
This strong ale is too strong.
Yeah.
This tastes a little too beery for me.
Yeah, this is far too beer-like. What the fuck's going on here, guys?
why is this ale so ale-like?
Yeah.
Wait, this isn't a premium lager. It's just a lager with the word premium.
Why is this IPA so bitter? God.
Yeah.
It's just a lager that I paid more money for.
Why am I not getting drunk on this fucking mild? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, no, like it frustrates me. But the fact that some of those breweries are blaming their horrible sales and everything on the internet is saddening too. Yes, it can hurt you. I understand that social media can hurt you. A lot of times when you get hurt from social media, it's more what you've done than what's being said by other people. Yes, the hype machine is there, but if you're thinking that the hype machine is killing you, that rate beer and all that is killing you, find out what the consumer in your area wants and make that beer.
So this could be called Dear Big Rock.
I couldn't hear what you just said, buddy.
Your mic is really having issues, dude.
Yeah, it should be called beer.
It's like you ran up to us and said something and then started running away before you finished your sentence, essentially.
It's like the SCTV horror movie thing.
Yeah. Dr. Tongue's House of Stewardesses.
Here's one, and I was hoping Mr. Terrio would be here by the time we got to this, because I know that recently, I'm pretty sure he talked about this at some point, and I'm wondering if this is one of the reasons why I hate this beer so much. But Carlsberg recalls Staropramen beer kegs after 2 people drink cleaning solution. So
Wait! They recalled it? It didn't taste better?
Yeah, they recalled it. They recalled 4,600 kegs of beer.
Wow.
After identifying two cases where the kegs were filled with cleaning solution, injuring 2 people.
Wow. Someone was not paying attention to what the fuck they were doing when they were fucking kegging their shit.
Yeah, wow. 30-liter kegs sold in 680 different bars and restaurants.
I mean, keep the cleaning solution, clean your bar with it, and still sue them.
I think it's amazing because Sarah Probin brewer Molson Coors said all potential affected retail customers have been contacted and that it is confident it is an isolated incident and no other Stramel-Probin batch is affected.
Wait, did anyone out there drink a whole fucking bottle of this shit before they realized it was cleaning solution?
Well, it was only in the kegs, not in the.
Well, full glass. Did someone get a full glass of cleaning solution poured to them, set down in front of them, they smell it and drink it?
Oh, this IPA is just very citrusy.
I have to assume that it was a mix of cleaning solution and beer because caustic is not yellow in color. Also, caustic without being diluted won't just hurt you. It'll probably kill you if you ingest it.
Yeah.
So I have to believe it was diluted. I have to believe it because caustic will kill you. It will.
So someone was sitting there thinking, I'm drinking some Staropramen IPA right now. That's pretty unique. Yeah, that's pretty sad.
But
Someone's gonna get.
after reading that, I'm like, was there a tiny touch of caustic in my bottle of in my can of Strynoprolen? Because when I start thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, it did have a weird, bitter, like milky taste to it. It possibly could have had some in it. It did make me feel weird. I'm sitting there thinking all this stuff, and I'm like, maybe the Czech Republic is just really, really bad at quality assurance. Maybe.
It might be. It's kind of a dodgy place.
And I mean, we always talk about how Molson Coors and Carlsberg and all the big guys won't make mistakes, but mistakes still can happen, yes. It's just hard to believe that big of a mistake happened. I'm sorry, you're supposed to spot test every certain amount of kegs. How the hell did 4,600 kegs get out without this being caught? You know, like...
Well, it's like when Duff made that brand called Fudd that made all the hillbillies go blind. Same thing.
Oh, Duff beer and Fudd beer. Yeah, I was intrigued by that story. Very intrigued. Now, here is another good one for those beer store lovers that will always say that the beer store makes things so much better, and you can't sell at a corner store because it doesn't have the facilities or this and that. The Sydenham beer store is closed. The beer store has been closed for over a week. There is no details on when it will reopen. The beer store, it is thought that it's because of the conditions of the building that the beer store is closed. And to make sure everybody in Sydenham can still get their beer, they have dropped off a beer store mobile store, which is a big trailer that has a fridge and everything on it and the big metal steps to walk into it. I think it's awesome. First off, that a corner store doesn't have the facilities, but you can sell it out of a trailer.
Yeah.
How can
like a food truck.
Yeah, how can you have a beer truck out of a trailer, but I can't sell beer out of a store that I own?
Because it says the beer store on it.
Yeah. That's basically their argument. It says the beer store on it.
It's official.
Now, our last two topics here kind of coincide with each other. So first and foremost, Miller Coors acquires a majority interest in the St. Archer Brewing Company. And Miller Coors acquiring a controlling interest in this is interesting because Anheuser-Busch InBev approached Saab Miller on a possible takeover. So, here is the thing with this. If it is okay, they had a 30-day window starting today, starting Wednesday. They had a 30-day window in London to go forward with the purchase. If they go forward with the purchase, antitrust laws in a lot of countries could kick in because them taking over Saab Miller gives them a portion of Molson Coors right off the bat because of Miller Coors in the U.S. So, the big thought here is what will happen. There is antitrust lawsuits going on right now. There is thoughts on whether or not it will be okayed. There is a lot of lawyers out there saying that if this sale is okayed, Saab Miller will first have to sell off its portions of Miller Coors, and that Molson Coors would get the first dibs at buying it. This would put basically the two biggest, well, they are the two biggest brewers, but this would put the 40 top beer brands under one umbrella. Basically, this is a malt empire, a malt monopoly. It's kind of crazy that this is going to happen, and if this happens, it's scary for the beer world, in my opinion, because there's not really competition anymore. Sure, you have some Heineken, you have Carlsberg, you have Molson Coors, but even all three of them together aren't what Saab Miller or AB InBev is just right now.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
Shut up, Ethan.
Now, just so you know, Ethan, we're talking about the story today, so you don't have to bring it up in 2 years.
Yeah, I figured. You guys are talking about Budweiser, right?
That's right. Everyone's favorite
an
brand.
interesting thing, because look what I'm drinking tonight. I can't tip it over, but
Why?
Michelob Ultra. Trying to lose weight.
Have you fallen on hard times?
You tell you about hard time, Daddy. A computer took your job.
Yeah, that's one of my lady friend's most favorite beers.
So, thoughts on this story, guys?
It is pretty scary. I don't know if it will necessarily happen, but sounds like one of those things where if they become the big monopoly that they're threatening to become, they'll just, skirt the law the way those companies have been doing anyway in different countries, where, we'll sell so much to this company or whatever, or we'll let this company distribute or whatever, whatever fucking bullshit laws they can sort of worm the way around. And yeah, it is kind of scary because, I mean, if they have that much power, they don't really have to kowtow to craft beer lovers anymore. They don't have to necessarily care about buying up craft breweries and keeping them, quote unquote craft.
Well, I mean, and that is another news article that came up with this that I didn't share yet, which was a fear mongering on, and I shouldn't say fear mongering because it could be possible too, on beer prices all skyrocketing because of, and craft breweries getting destroyed because of the fact that if Anheuser-Busch buys Saab Miller, they can basically strong-arm hop producers and malt producers into only selling to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a real threat. I mean, can't really say much more about it other than wait and see if it actually happens.
Well, and that's just the thought, right? Will antitrust lawsuits win over, or will it be allowed to go through? Because I can understand the antitrust lawsuits on it because they will become a global monopoly, not just one country, but a global monopoly, and they'll basically have bought another company to end up getting a fairly large portion of their only competition that's left after that.
And at that point, the law won't really matter. All that matters is who has the better legal team.
But they still have to they'll have to divest, though, right? They're not going to be able to completely merge without.
They haven't been told yet if they have to divest or not.
Yeah, that's what I've been reading. Everybody's assumption is going to be. So who knows? Maybe Goose Island to go back to being just Goose Island again, and it can be craft again. We can drink it.
But yeah, that is the thought that Saab Miller will have to divest out of the Molson Miller, the Miller Coors partnership. Yeah, but then, if they divest out of the Miller Coors partnership, will they be giving up certain brands that Anheuser-Busch wanted, type of thing?
Right. Should be interesting. Or it'll be like GM, and they'll just be killing off brands altogether. Maybe. So
there's that possibility as well. I'm going to move on to St. Ambrose Maple.
Ooh.
You queer.
Wow. Harsh.
Maple syrup eating motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I'm really curious on how this is going to play out. Apparently, employees of Miller Coors are on a sit and wait pattern right now.
Is it the fact that Anheuser is trying to buy Miller Coors? Is that what's going on? Or I didn't read the article. I saw the title of it, and I saw that they were entertaining an offer.
Anheuser-Busch approached Saab Miller about buying Saab Miller.
Right.
So if Saab Miller is purchased, that is where the toilet circle water flow goes.
Right.
Because it's just a huge legal mumbo jumbo on what happens because of antitrust and everything else. Is it circumventing the law? Is it making a full-on monopoly? There's just so much going on right now. This is why 2 years ago when this was first thought of, it didn't go through because they got put down, right. And now they're trying again. They went to the London headquarters of Saab Miller and they said this is what we want to do. And now they have 30 days to figure out if they're going to go through with it or not. They haven't actually put an offer in yet. They've approached with the idea of putting an offer in. So now it's all the legal mumbo jumbo of whether or not they even are allowed to put an offer in. After that, it's they put an offer in and see what happens for contestants.
Who made the offer? Was it AB InBev or was it Miller?
It was AB InBev.
Okay. See, because I don't know if. To me personally, I don't know if they really would sell out. I mean, not to say that they would. I mean, but I just don't think that.
The thing is, these are public companies, right? So if you come up to the company and say, "I'm going to give you $1 billion for your company," well, it has to be voted on by the by the panel, like the board, and the board could say yes because they all want to get some payouts.
Yeah. Weren't they valuing this at if they merged at 230 billion?
Something like that. Yeah.
Fuck. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean that gives every single person on the board, every single stockholder, a fair deal of money.
Yeah, and Miller's stock price has spiked today 20% or something like that because of that or something. And so did AB InBev, but only went up. It went up 11. But either way, based on this speculation, people are buying.
I mean, I wouldn't be butthurt about it because, I mean, it's a business, you know. It's not, you know, I don't really have any personal kind of attachment to that type of thing, so.
Well, the people buying stock in those companies aren't there to be concerned about the ethics of monopolies and beer brewing. They don't care about great beer. All they care about is making fucking money. And I mean, and although you got to think this is
that's their workhorse, you know.
Yeah, you got to think this is the second attempt by AB InBev. This second attempt, they must have at least thought it out before they asked. They must. I mean, they say they're trying to go through the legal mumbo jumbo. They must have already done a lot of fucking homework before they made their second.
Before they even made the pitch, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they have probably a division of like a whole merger division now. They're looking at acquisitions. They got teams that they're already scoping out projects probably 2 years from now. How we're gonna buy freaking something in China. They're probably strategizing
behind the curtain,
China spring. You know, I mean that sort of thing.
How can we get Sapporo, Heineken, and Carlsberg under our wings too?
Exactly, they're already planning it. They're looking at their structure, what's in it for them, you know, and then they're approaching them at the right time. They're hitting at Miller now for whatever reason. They think either Miller's strategizing to they're maybe a little soft, they need some help, and they're going to bring in some money, or you know, and then who knows? Man.
Well, it seems weird. I think Miller has been divesting itself anyway because Miller already broke off its distribution deal with Molson Coors in Canada.
Yeah,
like Miller and Miller Lite and everything is all dealt with by Saab Miller now, not Molson Coors or Miller Coors. So it's a weird thing. Like I don't understand the structure of this whole thing. I don't of the company itself. It's weird to say, hey, I'm actually Miller Coors in the U.S., but in Canada I'm completely on my own, so all the money goes to me, not any of it shared with them. It's a weird thing.
That's kind of like how my company's structured, though, too. Being an international company, it's weird. We're governed by certain things, but our finances are also independent in certain things. It's very messy.
Yeah, it's the weird thing about global conglomerates. It's an interesting concept, but it's so confusing to me.
Well, didn't your your really top, I don't want to name names, but your top parent company that's like at the center of all the tentacles in your slimy organization. Did they not buy up, like when Seagram's split all their properties around? Did they not buy up some of those?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think we used to own, or no, we still do. Seagram's Gin. We own that brand. Yes. No, it's not. It's made down in the U.S. Yeah, I mean that happens all the time. People gobble up stuff, and people selling off brands. They're like, we used to own Wild Turkey. We sold that off to Beam. Where we bought stuff, we bought like the Absolute company. So we have Absolute, and that's how we got Malibu and Kahlua and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things. Yeah. So we have a Swedish brand, which is TAC, and then we got the Canadian division, which is just pretty much just domestic, and then you have Chivas Brothers, who we bought eons ago, and it's wild, man. It is.
Yeah, because I know when Seagram's, like the heir to the Seagram's fortune or whatever, decided to just basically fuck it all and sell it to everybody who wanted a piece of it.
Waterloo Brewing owns the Seagram's coolers.
Yeah, so you'll see the Seagram's name everywhere. It's still everywhere, but it's owned by like 4 or 5 different fucking companies. Like you know.
Yeah, that's the weird thing too. Like our distillery is Hiram Walker Distillery. There's no other one, but yet there's a Hiram Walker brand of kind of coolers that's made in Arkansas for the U.S. market. Or not coolers. I don't know what it is. Mama Walkers. And they got some Hiram Walker. I don't know. They got stuff with our name on it, made in the U.S. for that market. We've never seen. Strange.
And I don't think the average, like, a lot of people are curious about this stuff, but I don't think the people that are curious about it actually even realize the complexities and depth of everything that goes on.
Shit, the people that work there don't even know. I'm telling you, I don't even understand at all how it works. It just if I worked in finance, maybe I'd know a little bit more, but it's too confusing to care right now. I have my own KPIs to worry about. So
and like I said, the Miller Coors employees, the employees that are on the conglomerated teams, are in a sit and wait period, and they only have to wait until October 14th to find out exactly what's going on and how things are moving forward. But they're on a sit and wait. Hell, in the end, Budweiser could even just step back and say, you know what, we don't want anything. It still could happen that way. Maybe it was a publicity stunt to jack both their stocks up.
It's not even necessarily a publicity stunt. It's just something that these big companies do all the fucking time anyway. They're always throwing themselves out there looking for stuff to buy up, and if it doesn't happen, don't fucking happen, you know? It doesn't really hurt them to try. So, I mean, they've got the money to throw around where they can make tries at stuff, and it's not going to necessarily hurt their bottom line at all. So
I think the only reason it was weird to me is, like, Miller Coors just bought the Archer Brewing Company there like a day and a half ago, and then this came out today.
Yeah.
But again, Miller Coors is not Saab Miller. It's just interesting. The whole thing is interesting. Even trying to figure it out is interesting. And angersome at the same time.
Oh, well, we'll know soon enough.
Yeah. How about some craft brewery against craft brewery drama?
What's going on now?
Did you read about my boy Sam Calagione sending C&D to our favorite?
Yes,
troll,
we actually
favorite.
we talked about that last week. Good sir.
Old news. That's what I'm supposed to bring up.
So what you were just talking about is the Pizza Boy cease and desist from Sam Cala, whatever the fuck.
The nicest cease and desist in the history of mankind.
Hey, dude, we like what you're doing. Please stop using this just because the spelling's so close. But good luck with everything, and we love what you're doing.
85%.
Fuck
85%. 85% of that cease and desist was with the Pizza Boy's owner's dick in Sam's mouth as he's fucking typing it, because he's just like, we love what you do. You guys do awesome stuff, and we want to see you guys continue to do great stuff. But you know, this whole pumpkin thing over here, like we use it for our beer, and like, you know, it'd be really great if you could just change it up slightly. It'd be really nice. And then the owner went to social media.
I love that when you read that letter. It was full on personal, and the owner's like, "This is just copy pasted, fuckers."
It's signed.
Yeah.
It's signed by Sam. Mm-hmm.
So full of shit. I mean, and honestly, this is like, I usually side with the people who are like getting the cease and desist, because usually in these cases, a lot of times 9 out of 10 you see that it's the guys sending the cease and desist that are in the wrong. But this is one where I actually side with fucking Dogfish Head, where it's like, yeah, if it's the exact same fucking name, then people are probably going to go into it. If they see the different one, the Pizza Boy one, they might just think it's a different variation on it. You know, like, there's actually maybe a chance that it might affect their sales, so there might be some concern there. And just the fact that fucking Mr. Pizza Boy there wants to be a goddamn dick, I'm like, fuck you. You deserve to get all the negative flack you get.
Is this the second or third time that it's definitely at least the second, if not the third time in like the last couple months that Pizza Boy's been in the news for things that.
I think by now Pizza Boy, the brewery, would be like, you know what, we're gonna get a social media guy, and you're not allowed on social media.
Well, isn't he the money guy though?
He's the owner. He owns the place. He doesn't brew any of this stuff. He just owns it. So if your owner's on there, you can't really do anything about it. I mean, he owns the fucking company. If he wants to continuously get on there and act like an idiot,
You douche.
I don't think anyone's stopping him. But all he's doing is a disservice to his entire fucking company and brewery, because people see that and go, wow, I don't want to buy beer from this guy anymore. What an asshole.
Yeah. Anybody ever see, and Joe, you probably seen it, Winta's Pumpkin? I'm surprised that. I mean, I'm sure Sam sent them something too, but they've been going ahead with that for a while.
I think they only got whatever documents they need, right? I don't know if it's trademark or whatever copyright, whatever they did for it. I think they only did it somewhat recently, like probably within the 5 years. So I think they let whatever companies have been brewing that before then probably just go ahead and do it. But they're probably trying to stop anyone that's coming out with anything in the last couple of years from going along with it. That's at least what I get from it.
Yeah,
we need to brew there from 2006. So.
And
Yeah,
if they have the copyright and all that, the trademark, the copyright, everything, they can do whatever they want. They can say, you know what, you've been doing it before us, you can keep going. They can do that, and
I think Sam is a nice enough guy to say, look, man, like we just copyrighted, say, in 2010 or whenever they did, I don't know, but then if you were making 2006, we're not going to do anything about it because that we would look like it, But if we do it now and then all of a sudden this year a company's like, oh, we're going to use the word pumpkin, I can't blame them for going after it. That's the whole point. And you're stupid to try. I mean, and the thing, I think another thing is they're an East Coast brewery. How far away is Philadelphia to Delaware? It's relatively. I mean, it's still the East Coast, and
it's not that far. It's not that far.
Yeah, it's totally understandable, and I could see if the letter to him was really harsh and just complete douchebaggery, but it was really nice. It was basically, look, we love your brewery, we love what you're doing, but could you just slightly change this up? Don't stop brewing the beer, whatever. Just slightly change the name. And I don't think they even bottle the beer. I think it's only draft only and stuff. How hard is it for them to just go, oh, well, we're going to change it to this?
When I get my passport back, who wants to go on a road trip to Pizza Boy with me?
I would not want to go to Pizza Boy unless we're taking a dump in their fucking tap room.
Oh no, I'm gonna bring my camera and we can do some on-site trolling.
Do it next year when we're up for the fest. I'll go.
Yeah, just leave us all at your house alone while you go and do it.
Fuck yeah. No.
I mean, before all this happened, I wanted to go check out Pizza Boy because I've heard of them before that, and then all this stuff comes out, and I'm like, even when I'm in the area at any point, I have no interest whatsoever.
I hear pizza, I'm like, I'll go.
You hear pizza and boys, and you just want to jump right in there?
Oh, baby.
To the 3 viewers we have, if you're even there, actually say something. Say something to us, because we're out of topics now. That was the end of the topics.
I'm one of them, so...
Really?
Oh, so there's like one person watching.
So there's 2 viewers.
Because I'm one of them as well, so...
I'm one too, so we're not...
Oh, so it's us. It's us looking at ourselves.
Oh, so hi, guys.
We stare into the abyss, and the abyss stares back.
I have a great time doing this, but I'm really saddened with how few people even care anymore.
Yeah, were we too offensive for everybody? Is that what it is? Or what?
Probably too boring.
What we'll do is, we'll have like 2 people viewing, and then like 2 days later, I'll have like 190 views on it.
What we need to do is better advertise every week.
Yeah. Get Marvin to teach us how to get those Buku YouTube.
Where's Marvin been? I miss you, Marvin.
Oh, no one misses Marvin.
I think Jay is the one that brings all the traffic this way when he shows up.
We need to get Dr. Dave on here because he'll bring us tons of traffic.
Hell yeah!
That will entertain everyone here at the very least.
You know what? I'm glad that Dr. Dave enjoyed the Cameron's RPA.
I'm sad that it didn't kill him.
Well, if it killed him, it probably would have killed me too.
That would have been like one of the highest rated videos.
Oh, Lee, don't worry. I'll give you a hint. At the end of his life, he's going to die. Doesn't matter what. Something will kill him.
At the end of his life, he's going to die. Thank you, Greg Vylog, for that.
Thanks for
information.
Thanks for laying down the facts of life to it, baby.
Baby, drop it now.
You take the good, you take the bad, you stir them up, and then you have the facts of life. The facts of life. Tootie on there, baby. Get some tooties trotting around.
The Dr. Dave documentary.
At the end of your life, you will die. Oh my God, Greg.
Where's Tootie when you need an Aunt Harriet? What's going on?
Oh boy. Ethan, where's...
This is why you have no viewers, because I'm here tonight.
I was going to say, I was going to give my opinion about Heineken and Lagunitas doing a...
Let's hear it, Ethan Flair.
Come in,
that it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion, because of the fact that, yes, they did sell out, but they still have their foot in their brewery because they only sold 50%. So, not to say that, as long if for my personal taste, if they just don't change anything except for maybe the price to make it lower, then I have no problem with Heineken partially owning Lagunitas.
Lagunitas is already the cheapest beer you can get.
I was going to say,
as it is, yeah, but if it's
do you need to
cheaper,
get it
that's
for
even
free?
better.
Do you need to get it for free? Because
the only thing
I
that'll
need to
happen,
understand.
if anything, with prices, it'll go up a little bit because Heineken will try to make more profits.
Probably, but yeah, that's just my personal take on it. I mean, it's with breweries, like, I don't really take a personal vendetta against bigger guys buying smaller breweries, but I think I would be singing a different tune if it was like one of my local breweries here in Canton. I'd probably have a.
I'm kind of curious though why Lagunitas. I mean, they make some great beer. They make some great beer, but we all usually agree that it's fairly underrated beer. It's not hyped. It doesn't have that hype machine behind it. I'm surprised that it wouldn't have been one of those.
And they used to be one of those, screw bigger companies. We're a, craft brewery and stuff, and now they just kind of like.
I'm waiting for one of the big guys to go after Hill's Farmstead there, and it.
I'm sure that they've entertained offers. That you probably just never heard of it.
I think with Lagunitas, I think they're one of the more well-respected breweries in the industry, and they make great beer. They're very consistent, and I think that's a perfect brewery to target if you want to try to buy someone out. I mean, it's not like they're just hyped now. It's not like they have one specific beer, kind of like Goose Island. I mean, it was pretty much. Why does everyone know who Goose Island is? Because of one.
Because of Honker's Ale.
Yeah, because of fucking their 312. No, they know them because of Bourbon County Brand Stout, and I think with Lagunitas, they have a great profile. They have a ton of awesome beers, and why not? I mean,
the price was awesome. Like Weyerbacher has some fucking amazing beers.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they're reasonably priced.
As far as like the buyout, I mean, same thing with Firestone Walker. Firestone Walker, from top to bottom, they make fantastic beer. I could see why Duvel wanted to,
Firestone Walker with Duvel just confused me too, though, because like we talked about last time when that sale happened, Duvel is usually all Belgian breweries. That's what they target, and that was just something completely in left field for me.
I think you'll see more and more of just the surprising buyouts or the surprising.
I'd like to see a big craft brewery
50-50.
buying a small craft brewery. That's what I want to see.
That's happened here in Ontario many times, like Amsterdam buying KLB.
Oscar Blues bought Perrin.
Perrin, baby.
Waterloo, like the Brick buying Waterloo Brewing, the Brick buying Formosa Brewing.
I won't know this information until like 4 years later. So
that's true.
Wasn't KLB though kind of already on the verge of going bankrupt when Amsterdam bought them?
Yeah, but it was still two craft breweries buying each other.
Oh, fair enough. But when I first started in craft beer in 2012, you could still buy all the KLB stuff. Now they just dumped it all and said, no, you can get the raspberry. Now that's it.
Don't they have the other stuff? I thought there was like three still at the beer stores.
No, you used to be able to get but it was nothing. It was a pale ale, a cream ale, and I don't know what the last one was, but it was.
They had the pale, the cream, the pale cream nut brown, and the raspberry wheat.
Yeah, and two of those I think were you could get a nut brown from Amsterdam, so I mean it was kind of overlapping there. And then cream ale, I don't know how popular that is, and pale ale.
Probably as popular as Buzz Millennium, baby.
Cream ale is popular as a cream ale can be.
When I was interviewing Ian at Amsterdam, and I was just getting into doing these interviews and all that, and just getting into learning everything about it. I remember that there was certain policies, certain practices that big brewers did that the little guys always frowned on, and one of them was high gravity brewing. Brewing to a really high ABV and then watering it down to what you wanted it at. And this was something craft brewers always frowned on. And then I go and I'm interviewing Ian, and he's like, "Oh yeah, well our tanks are 3 times the size of our brew house, so we brew it to like 18% alcohol, and then we water it down to 6." That's what you guys have said to me before that you frown on, and now you're saying on camera that you do it. Like it boggled my mind.
Well, Amsterdam's one of those craft breweries where, and of course they can make some great beer, but they're a business. They're all about business. They're all about how they can expand and make money.
Yep.
And that comes first with them. I mean, Ian is a very talented brewer, and he can make some amazing shit like, the Double Tempest and all that. But
oh yeah, and a lot of the Adventure brews are amazing.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's not their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is their blonde and their amber and their shitty 416 lager. Yeah. If you ever been to their brew pub in downtown, it's gigantic and it's downtown on the waterfront. I can just imagine how much that cost them.
Yeah, well, by then they were making huge amounts of money.
Yeah,
huge.
well.
Like they had been open for a long time. Like them, GLB, Trafalgar, Wellington. These are all like the grandfathers of craft beer in Ontario. And any of them still being around is a big thing. And the fact that they're not just around, but they're growing, even now with all the new guys coming out, is huge too.
I love their old building because it was like this super.
It was
old,
in an
like,
amazing
factory.
place, yeah.
Yeah, it was. And then they just sold it and they tore. Oh, no, they didn't sell it, but their lease ran out, and then they tore it the fuck down to build condos. Toronto for you.
And that was the one thing I always said to every brewer I ever met. Every brewery I went into and I was interviewing, I would ask them off camera if they owned the building or if they leased it, and it was a 50-50 thing. And they're like, "Why do you ask?" And I'm like, "Well, leasing the building just doesn't seem right to me, especially when you put millions of dollars into this. Because after your 3 to 5 year lease, they can just say, you know what, we don't want you here anymore."
Or we're gonna double your rent each month.
Yeah, like it's just one of those things where I was like, it didn't seem feasible to me. Yeah, it would cost a lot more to buy your own building because your brewery might now go from $1 million to $2 million, but then you don't have to worry about that happening. I mean, I guess that's the big thing with Collective Arts and Nickelbrook with their new building. They bought that building. They can do whatever they want where they are there. And in truth, they could still, at some point in the future, they won't because they basically are renting the entire building now, the entire complex now. But they could get kicked out of the Burlington area.
Where's their new location?
It's right on the waterfront. It's the old Lakeport facility.
But that's in Burlington?
No, that's in Hamilton.
Oh, Hamilton? Okay, yeah.
Now,
I was gonna say,
they
imagine...
brew, they have a weird, they do a little skirt of the law there where they brew Nickelbrook's beers there, but they can't sell it there. It has to get shipped back to Burlington and then get sold from Burlington.
The thing I imagine is that a lot of the Toronto breweries are probably leasing their places just because most people don't have millions of dollars to actually buy their own facility. Like, I'm sure even when Amsterdam was first, I think this was their second building, and I'm sure they probably back then didn't have the money to buy the place, so they leased it for, 10, 15 years, however long they sat there for, and now they can afford to buy whatever the hell they want. But most brewers don't have millions of bucks in the bank right off the bat to do that.
Well, I think that you're thinking of something very generic because Toronto is the only place where it's going to be that expensive.
Well,
I shouldn't say Toronto. Toronto and Ottawa are probably the two biggest cost prohibitive.
I'd say anywhere is like that. I mean, you have to look at the long-term plan. These guys are, first of all, look at most guys. They're not walking in with millions, and you'd rather spend the money on equipment than having to buy a building. If you can lease something, what brewer have you ever known who's ever been evicted? If you're making money, you're going to stick around. Most times, guys leave on their own. What?
Amsterdam.
They were evicted?
The reason they built their brew pub in their other location was because they didn't have that location anymore.
From what I understand, the guy who owned it sold it to a construction company to make condos. So once Amsterdam's lease was up, they refused to renew it.
That was to me that's an exception. I think most times people are gonna.
Stonehammer Brewing was owned by Frank and Merelda. That's why it was F&M Brewing. And they actually didn't want the brewery back there anymore. They wanted to put their son's gym back there. So they were going to move it. And when the family that bought the brewery now bought it, they actually had to put into the license that they were guaranteed 3 years there because Frank and Merelda were going to kick them out right away. They were just buying the name and all the equipment.
Hey, I guess it happens. I just think it's rare that if you have a tenant that's paying their bills and whatnot, as long as they're not causing any trouble, they're going to stick around. And I'd say brewers are more likely to leave either by running out of money for themselves or expanding.
And that's the thing too. Like what these brewers do to your building makes your building a hard sell sometimes afterwards for some people. Like you have all these drains cut into your floor. You might have extra slabs poured for the weight restrictions on the slabs. There's a lot of things that can get done to those buildings that some building owners don't want afterwards either.
Right. So why would they? So they probably want to keep them around. I mean, I don't think it's just you just walk in like you're renting an apartment. I think it's like it's a partnership. Say, hey, I'm going to lease this from you. This is what I'm doing, and you have to get all the permits and all that shit because it's a long-term thing for both of them, right? It's like, hey, okay, you're going to be here, you're going to be putting all this money in here. Well, my rent is going to be according because it is a brewery and you're modifying the building. So they'd be like, okay, well, that's fine. I think you're talking about a huge investment. You're talking about actually purchasing that on top of at least $1 million in just brewing equipment. Right,
well, no, I know exactly what you're saying. I also agree with a lot of the brewers that I've talked to that have bought their buildings when they said, if you're going to do this, you might as well do it right.
I mean, if they're committed to the space and that they know they're going to be there forever, good on them. But
some of them got it easy too. Like some of them, like Steve Buscemi there, and everybody else that ended up getting their building. Like his dad owned that building. It was a textile factory. So it was huge already, and he ended up just going in, and his dad sold him the building for a very low amount, and they put a brewery in it. Like, some people got lucky that way. Grand River Brewing, as much as I'm not a huge fan of their beer, they bought an old knife factory that was just sitting there abandoned. Like, sometimes you can find buildings that will be perfect for what you need just sitting there. Allura Brewing Company that just opened up recently. That was a old, what did he tell me it was? It's on the video. I can't even remember what it was off the top of my head. Oh, hardware store. It was an old hardware store that had been sitting abandoned for like 8 years before they bought it. So the price on that was pretty low to buy it.
All I know is they make a Crispix flavored beer, and it's awesome.
Did you end up going to Allura?
No, I just got the one that you gave me.
Oh, yes.
It tastes like Crispix, and that's one of my favorite cereals. So I love it.
The apple ale.
Yeah, I don't know how it doesn't taste anything like apples, but
well, what he told me afterwards after I reviewed it, and I'm like, yeah, I could see that too. Is they put green apples and red apples in it, like Macintosh and Granny Smith, but they also purposely brewed it in a way that apple flavor would show up as well to try and make more apple flavor, which is where that Crispix weediness would come out.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I didn't get, at least to my palate, I didn't get any apple, although we know my palate's stupid, so, take it with a grain of salt, but I still thought it was a great beer.
Yeah, the only beer from them I didn't like was the Straw Hat, the Straw Hat Matte, which was their hef, and I actually, and wait, where is she? Okay, so the beer server was fucking hot as fuck, covered in tattoos, red hair, everything, right? Like super hot and.
You must have been Asian and giving you boners.
No, it wasn't. That's Paul, not me. But yeah, so red hair, everything, right? And she comes down and she sits at the table and she's like, "I love your videos. There's beers we get here that I know nothing about, and I watch your videos and I drink them while I watch them, and sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't, but it's great." And then I'm talking to her about the wheat, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's the only one I didn't like." And she's like, "Yeah, I thought." There was a problem with that in my eyes. She's like, the brewmaster will never admit it, but I think, and we both said sparging at the same time, and I'm like, oh my god, I love this woman.
And then you woke up.
But
No,
but in,
no.
but in all,
Yeah,
but
then
in
my
all,
wife. Then my wife texted me.
yeah, I was gonna say, but in all seriousness, you only love your wife, right? That she's the only one for you. She's the only one who gives you bonus.
Yeah.
Are you practicing this, Greg, for when you get married? Is that what you're doing right now? Is that what you're just saying it to yourself, really, more than chat?
Welly County Dark Ale will be next.
My future wife and I have a very different relationship.
Yeah, no, yeah. So it was. If you go to Alora, I can't. Her name. I have her name on my receipt upstairs, but if you go to Alora, the servers pretty much know nothing about beer, but the girl working the bar is a fucking beer goddess, and she probably knows more than a lot of people holding like the first level of Cicerone or even the first few levels of beer judging certification know. And she's an awesome girl to talk to if you're into beer. Also, if a mad beer disease starts up, it's because of them. So they send their spent grain to a pig farmer who feeds his pigs the spent grain, and then when he slaughters these pigs, he's selling them back to Alora Brewing Company to use in their bacon and their pork dishes.
That's a vicious circle.
It's an amazing circle at the same time, though. Like an amazing circle. I loved when he told me that story. I'm like, oh my god, I'm amazed. I want to eat your beer grain fed bacon sandwich when I come back next time.
See, you know what? Just going back to the waitresses thing, like I'm sure a lot of those waitresses are probably hired because they're attractive. But for me personally, I would rather an unattractive waitress that just knows a lot about beer. Because either way, I'm not going to fuck her, so I'd rather at least have a good conversation with her about beer.
You know, I work in an establishment where there is tipping, and the hotter girls will usually get the bigger tip from a guy, and from a woman, it's whoever gave the better service that gets the bigger tip. And I always sit there and I'm curious, and I've said it to one guy before because I know one guy that gives these two girls $100 chips. Like every time they bring him a drink, he tips them $100. And he was in the bar one night, and I looked at him and I go, you know you're not sleeping with either of them ever, right? He goes, what do you mean? I'm like, they're both married. They're not ever going to sleep with you. So why are you giving them $100 a drink? They don't care. They're just like, oh, fucking right, an easy target. You know, like.
It's like a stripper that can, get you. She's not gonna. Well, they may fuck you if you pay them enough, but generally speaking, they're just there to get as much out of you as they can.
Nothing, Joe? You have nothing to say?
Joe's busy typing to somebody.
I just want you to know I opened my beer with a dolphin-shaped bottle opener. Look at that.
And I asked if it was a whale, because a whale would make a lot more sense. But,
the dolphin.
Here's my question. I think it says we have 3 viewers now, which means that there's actually no viewers.
Nope.
But I'm curious if what you type in those little boxes, does it show up on the video itself? Okay, so it's just because I don't have the window open.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't ever have the chat window open, so every once in a while I'll see little text blobs come up. I can't read what they say.
I think you have to pay for something like that.
Usually it's filled with dumb shit.
Because I was trying to do that once too, and it said that you had to purchase it, just like other things too, like when you get a little side taskbar on your. Like that adds to it. I don't know how much it costs though.
Are you meditating, baby? A little bit of meditation going on.
Oh, this beer is so good.
Yeah.
You're drinking Shipyard Export Ale, and you just said it was so good.
Oh, baby, it's so tasty. And it's only 2 weeks old.
Oh, baby, Ethan Terrio, you just you're wrong, baby.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. Kind of skunky.
It tastes like shit because it's Shipyard.
Well, it's funny because they put the beer best before September of 2016, and it says right here, bottled on 9/2/15. So that's like a year, they say.
Well, that's what a lot of breweries say their beer is good for, is a year. Some breweries say 6 months.
Shipyards isn't good to begin with, so I don't know what they're doing.
Year or 5 weeks, whatever.
I think I've had one or two good, okay shipyard beers out of the like 15 I've drank.
I think Pumpkinhead is an abomination beyond belief.
I think
Well, I saw Heavy Seas.
Me and
Their
Mr.
Great
Pugsley,
Pumpkin.
me and Mr. Pugsley do not have the same taste in beer.
That goes for about 98% of the population, along with Mr. Puzzle.
I think the only one I tried of theirs was their whatever pumpkin beer they bring to Ontario.
Pugsley's.
The Smash Pumpkin bottle.
We get the Smash
Because I
Pumpkin.
think they make more than one
Pumpkinhead.
You know, Pumpkinhead is probably one of the bottom 3 worst pumpkin beers you can possibly try to consume.
What did you think of the Great Pumpkin by Heavy Seas?
Chad and I did the Great Pumpkin, which was in
No,
Bourbon
we
Barrel.
did both. We did the great as well. I only know that because one of my viewers commented on both of them.
And what did he say?
That he liked them both, and he tells me the price he bought for them, and then he tells me whatever the ABV is this year. And
His Beer Bong 420?
no, Space Monkey something. He's not being an idiot like Beer Bong 420. He's being. I picked this up this year, this version at this price and this percentage. This is what I think of it, and actually, it's really nice to see that he does that. And usually, he'll do it every year. Like if it's a beer I reviewed like 4 years ago, every year he'll come back and tell me what its new specs are, which I think is actually really nice because I'm not going to see them again. So
You don't have to do any legwork. That's nice. I like it. If you care to know what the new specs are, anyway.
and I'm like that. I care.
I don't remember the base beer, but I do know the Greater, the one in Bourbon Barrels. I enjoy, but the base one I'd imagine is good.
Are we talking about pumpkin beer? Are we really
Yeah,
talking
baby,
about pumpkin
baby,
beer?
you and your
but that's
fucking
the
ale
biggest
from Dog
craze
Shit,
right
baby.
now.
You know
I
you
gotta
love
wreck
it,
this
baby.
ship over here. I gotta get the hell out.
I love pumpkin beer.
I'm hoping that there's like three.
I'm already done
There's
with it.
3 pumpkin
Wow.
beers I asked Greg if he could get me that are sold at the beer stores. I'm hoping he's able to come through on that.
Yeah.
But one of them I've been
make a
told
trip.
by Winter is coming that it is very, very underwhelming, and I expected that, but I'm curious to try it anyway.
I am
think
hoping.
it was only one pumpkin beer you asked me. The other one was a lager, and the other one was some other shit.
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I love pumpkin beers, and I love trying pumpkin beers, especially if I hate them, because I like that even more.
I love
That's
all
pumpkin-
pumpkin beers, even the shitty ones. I don't care.
I can't wait for
That's
Bellwoods to make theirs.
Yeah, that was never gonna make a pumpkin beer, baby. Come on. And if they do, it'll actually be in October.
Exactly.
Probably in
The
November.
Bicycle Brewing up in Ottawa is get a pumpkin beer. It should be out soon.
The best pumpkin beer I've had over last year was from these guys, Resurgence. They made a pumpkin beer with vanilla beans and coffee.
Fucking Homer.
I had
What
one by
Homer?
They crushed Elysian shitty fucking cappuccino. One.
See, why would you tell me things like that, and why would you show me a can? Now I want you to pick some up for me.
Yeah, thanks for sending the one.
Yeah,
Joe.
he wants a crowler.
Well, it's not. Oh, this just came. They just put them in cans in the last 2 weeks.
I'm
First
actually
beer aside from
excited
the-
because what is it? Flying Bison was really the only one that bottled or canned at all in your area.
Yeah,
wasn't
so
it?
this is the first place that's done any like canning or bottling that wasn't like a one-off. I think they're gonna always have the IPA, and this is made with Amarillo, Simcoe, and New Zealand.
But which IPA is that? Is that no? I had the Buffalo Beer Week IPA.
This is just Resurgence IPA, just the regular IPA.
Okay, I've had their one of their stouts and one of their IPAs. I think.
But you know the greatest thing about Resurgence is they have a crowler. So if I want to send 32 ounces of goodness of a pumpkin beer with vanilla beans and coffee, that I think is amazing,
A disclaimer:
I'll be sending it out,
if you want
baby.
to send me a crowler, I just want you to know I'm gonna put it in my
instead he
trunk.
sends me 50 ounces
I'm not
of
sending you any
Coladas,
more
so-
beer because unlike Greg who ages everything properly in a magical fridge, you age shit in your fucking trunk of your car. Totally different thing
That's
going
right.
on.
It speeds up the process, Joe.
And then you're like, oh, this beer wasn't that good.
Wasn't that
Really
good,
now?
Joe? What the
Really
fuck?
now?
Wasn't
Really
that good?
now?
Why would you send me this?
It was only
This
in
is
my
shit.
trunk for like 12 hours and it's like 95 out. Well, I don't know what happened.
Joe, in all fairness, a lot of that beer I sent you may have been aged in the trunk at some point as well. So.
Oh,
That's
I'm
why
not the
Roman
only
candles
one.
suck this time. I understand.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, I picked up 3 beers to review today. I picked up the Coast to Coast line ESB from Flying Monkeys in Garrison. I picked up, I guess 4 beers because I got 2 beers in the in the Oktoberfest pack. But here, let me show you the best one.
Oh,
Hey, Joe, I just want to tell you real quick that it was also sitting in the trunk of a mail truck as well
well, there
on
you
the
go.
way here. So,
This one is
Also-
the one I'm the most intrigued about, which is Grand River Brewing.
I was about to say, I saw the red cap.
Tailgate.
Fucking Grand. Why would you ever purchase or even drink or attempt to acquire anything from Grand River ever?
They've changed.
This guy did.
all their labels lately.
Which
I've
Canadian
seen
beer
labels
week
like
season?
6 times. There's like 5 different labels out there, and they're all fucking shitty. Every last one of them
Because
out.
all of them are done like MS Paint.
Yeah, Grand River looks like there's this fucking home brewer that just was like, I got a couple hours to spend, open up MS Paint, and hope to God they fucking brew something or come up with something that looks halfway decent. They failed.
So this is 4.5% alcohol by volume. And it was bottled on, I can't even read that because it's smudged, and it's not. Look,
Does it
it's
really
smudged.
matter?
It's smudged,
Does it really
and
matter, though?
look at where it is. It's off so far to the side, like nothing's calibrated there. This is why everything tastes like fucking butter.
It's almost like
fucking
it's almost like they don't make it for albinos.
Ethan, what happened to Canadian Beer Week that you promised everyone? What happened to that?
Exactly. What happened?
It is still in effect. If everybody's very eager.
He's just aging them in his trunk.
I just want to see you. I just want you to drink some Grand River and some Lake of Bays. That's all I want to see.
I don't know. I'm not drinking the Lake of Bays anymore. I replaced
Well,
that.
that sucks.
Shit,
Then I'm not watching it now. It's done.
Jesus. What the heck?
Why aren't
Yeah,
you
the
drinking
Lake-
The
Those
Lake
are
of
Lakes.
Bays. Wait, no. It was the Lake of Bays, their Pilsner, and it was already a year
They
old.
don't have a Pilsner.
No, it's their top shelf lager.
Yeah, the top
Well,
shelf lager. Yeah, that's what
They
it
don't
was.
have a Pilsner that we know of.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
You said you can drink the
why aren't
infected
you
bourbon
drinking-
barrel aged Thor's Hammer. You can do that too.
Why aren't you drinking the top shelf lager?
I already drank it.
Did you review it?
I couldn't wait. No.
Oh,
Hell no. It was a
What
year
did you
old.
honestly think of
I
it,
drank
Ethan?
it on here. I drank it on
Did you?
BDU.
You didn't like it? Was it good?
No. You don't remember? It was like
I
that was
don't.
like 2 months ago I did that.
I remember, but it was like after hours BDU, like at like 2 in the
Yeah, it
morning.
was after hours, yeah.
And Ethan was already fucked.
Well, buy another one. I want you to review it.
There's no more. Thank God.
I'm sad.
No,
I wanted to
next
see
week-
somebody else suffer
Next week,
through it.
hopefully, I'll do that. But
Hey, I want
You
to
know, what's actually worse? Go ahead, Big E.
I want to see Ethan review another beach. That's what I'm waiting for.
another what?
I want to see
Another
him review-
beach.
I want to see
Oh,
him
yeah,
review more
okay.
deer.
I'm gonna go to Puddin Bay.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
beautiful. I'm gonna do it in the winter though.
Nice.
I want to
Keep
see
it
you.
classy.
I don't know what my next aged beer is going to be, but I told the wife I need to buy some coffee filters.
Oh
That
boy.
might be a good investment, yeah.
Sounds dirty.
So yeah, I actually got an age back for the Labatt 50 from a lady in Quebec that said it was 1962.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah, baby.
Holy fuck.
Now I love that there is.
That's
an
how I like
entire,
my women.
I love that there's entire fucking apartments in a big brewery that just do social media, and you can say tweet to Saab Miller or Miller High Life and say, "Can you help me age this bottle?" And have a picture of you holding up a bottle of Miller High Life, and they don't ever even answer you. They just ignore it. I'm actually intrigued. Help me age this fucking bottle. I want to know how old it is. You're the one with fucking pictures down your hallway of every bottle for every year, so you should be able to just walk into work one day. So, one day come into work, see that tweet, and go, oh. And the next day walk into work and go, hey, that's the year, I'll answer them. Like,
Yeah, but Chad, they don't give a shit about people like you who actually want to appreciate the beer. They just want a bunch of hillbillies that are going to tailgate and shotgun their beer and buy 48 2-4s or 48 cases. Or oh no, Paul's not here to insult me about that.
And here's the thing, Chad. She doesn't know what you're going to do with that money. She doesn't know you're going to give it to charity or not. Oh wait, that was a different lady.
Lee's ranting and raving, doesn't matter, baby.
I still think instead of giving it to charity, you should spend it on hookers.
What's up, Matt?
That is charity. That's public charity.
That's right. You're helping single mothers out.
Oh, I don't know if I can accept Matt's new location to film at.
I saw your dog. Does he have a cone on or what?
Yeah, she has a cone on.
Ah.
You should get yourself one of them, Ethan.
Oh, not the cone of shame.
No, I got mine off last week.
What's wrong with my location, Chad?
There's no wall of beer behind you.
It's coming, baby. I'm moving, so it's in the works. You gotta give me some time.
Time is the one thing I don't have, good sir.
Stop being so Stop being so impatient.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
Keep on
That's
drinking
that's
those
what
fucking
Dave would
85-year-old
say.
beers.
Come
You
on,
won't have
man.
much time left.
Oh, it's true. We spoil it. At the end of his life, he's going to die. We already established this.
Thanks, Greg.
Unbelievable stuff.
Thanks again, Greg, for that tidbit of information.
Positive thinking right there.
Next, I'm going on to Wellington Special Pale Ale. Wellington Special Pale Ale.
How special is that? Is that really special? How special is that, baby?
It's 4.5% alcohol special.
Yeah, that sounds like it's not special whatsoever. Unless you're special in the way that Ethan is, baby. Then that might be a little special.
Or our good buddy Mike. Our good buddy Mike.
Your face plays the part, Ethan. I love it.
That's right.
Ethan, are you
Had a
as
lot of
special as our
practice.
good friend Mike?
No, I'm not special, but I did ride the short bus. But that was because they didn't have where I lived at the time. I was really far away, and
That's why.
so
Baby, let it all out, Ethan. Let it all out. Get it off your chest, baby.
Are you as special as Mr. Welland?
Mr. Welland is fantastic.
No.
Fantastic person.
nah.
I just picture now Ethan was all put out because he missed the regular bus. He was standing there in the corner and he was all looking downtrodden and he had a big
Excuse me.
fat upper lip going, and then all of a sudden one of the kids from the special would come, Ethan, come on the bus with us, Ethan.
You know what the best
Back
part
to
of
school.
the festival was this year? The fact that Mr. Fantastic almost came to drink with us. The fact that Mr. Fantastic almost came to drink with us made this beer festival amazing. The fact that Simon was driving down the highway and saw Mr. Fantastic in the car beside him and made him pull over and told him about us getting drunk at my house. And if he didn't have to work, he would have came. And for those of you that don't know who Mr. Fantastic is, he was like the first viral bit ever. He did a lot of Jackass things before Jackass was big, and he was jumping off. He was trying to jump in a pool off a ladder. That was the last stunt he did, and the ladder fell, and he broke his neck and really never walked properly ever again. But he was always drunk. He's from Welland, of course, and yeah, I'm actually going to get the link for you guys right now for Mr. Fantastic.
So the name Mr. Fantastic is kind of ironic, really.
Yeah.
He's really Mr. Unfantastic.
Yeah. Mr. Below Par more than anything else, really.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to sign off for the night.
Okay,
Paul's
you've had
not
a
even here.
wonderful
What is
night.
this shit? Paul, I don't see Paul in here. I don't.
Come on, you're be young at the work.
I took some nighttime medicine, so I'm about to
You
get knocked
fucking
out.
drug addict. Get out of here.
Beer with fucking over-the-counter medicine.
Oh, marijuana.
Yeah, exactly. If it ain't beer, it's
kind of drowsy, guys.
Yeah,
Alright,
guys. All right, fuckers.
Go to bed and someone will come and rub your back. Not be sore after all these years.
Greg is in your house right now, just so you know, baby.
They got that hotel room rented out for the entire week, baby.
All right. Good night, fuckers. Good night.
See you later.
Fuckers.
What are you drinking on, Matthew?
That's you.
Matthew.
I am drinking on the hop concept, looking lemon and grassy hop freshener series.
Baby, lemon and grass, baby. That's what they're telling you what's in it.
Lemon and grassy. That's the thing. They're making it like the dumbest, dumbest in the best way possible. Just
They're doing the modern times bullshit.
yeah, where it's just like here it is, and it's nice beer. It's made by the hop concept's like Lost Abbey and Port Brewing, because Port Brewing and Lost Abbey are the same fucking company. It's like a third division of that company, so they know what they're doing, you know.
Here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to chug this beer I just poured, so I'm going to chug this whole pint.
Get you in the sink.
The only 3 viewers we have are in this chat room right now, we're going to go offline, and we're going to be stupid. And if you 180 people that come out and go, oh my God, don't go offline, want us not to go offline, you know when we do this, come in and talk to us. So here we go, final chug.
I'm getting ready to be stupid.
Cheers.
That's right.
I've
All you little
until now,
bitches
I've
that
been totally
complain,
normal.
you need to fucking show up, you bunch of pack of faggots.
Yeah, you pack of faggots. Why would you make
We're
me
gonna
be
get
sexist?
Matt to hold his nipples up to the camera, and then we're gonna